get up and do my thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get up, get on up. Get up, get on up. Stay on the scene. Get on up like a sex machine. Get on up.
This is Gio and Jones on CBS Sports Radio.
Get up, get on up.
And we're coming to you live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts studio. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Greg Giannotti, Brian Jones. Gio and Jones across the country on CBS Sports Radio. There was such a cross-section of American culture and news last night if you logged on to Twitter. It doesn't matter who you were, because your timeline was one of two things: the Iowa caucuses or The Bachelor. So people were watching one of those two things, and they couldn't have been more different. And it was funny because if you typed in The Bachelor and Iowa caucuses, you got a lot of people that were watching The Bachelor that were young people that were really upset that the caucuses coverage was on at any point. Like, why are they screwing my Bachelor night up by talking about this? It's amazing how that happens. Or like when the State of the Union address comes on or something, it's from breaking news, like, whoa, we were supposed to have this horrible show that we watch on right now. How dare you?
I thought they were supposed to be today, Tuesday, Super Tuesday, and they were last night, the Iowa caucuses.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I mean, I'd known it.
I thought it was supposed to be Super Tuesday. And it's actually Super Monday. Well, and Super Erik is here.
Right. Super Erik
Super
Coleman.
EC.
Yeah, that is very right. And Erik Coleman, who's a 9-year vet in the NFL, now doing some NFL analysis. SNY, one of his jobs in New York. Erik, thanks for joining us. Good morning. How are you?
Oh, thanks for having me, guys. How are you guys doing?
Doing really well. And in your years in the NFL, you played with the Lions, and you played on the Lions with Calvin Johnson in that same locker room. And the news that he is leaning towards retirement, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I got really close with Calvin when I lived there. He was literally my next door neighbor. Great guy, comes from a great family, and I'm happy for him. He's accomplished a lot in this league. I'm one of the best players I've ever played with, and he was one of the hardest workers on our team, and one of the most humble people I've ever met. So, I know he made the right decision for himself and his family, and I'm really happy for him.
What was the driving force, Erik? If you can give us a little insight into his decision.
Well, I haven't spoken to Calvin since he made his decision, but I would assume that it has to do with his health. Trying to move on. There's different opportunities. Guys want to use football as a vehicle, to make that next step in their life. And Calvin was able to do that. He made a lot of money, put himself in a great position to thrive after his football career. So, I think he'll be in a great situation. His family, his parents are great people, and I'm sure he has some great business opportunities ahead of him.
As Gio said, you spent 9 years in the league. Your last year was a 2012 season. How difficult, or how did you make that transition from playing something you, like a lot of us, you've been doing since we were little kids, and then getting to the highest level of your profession, and then it's being over just like that? How did you make the transition?
Oh, it was a tough one. It was a tough transition. I went through about 6 months of just being depressed, just being around the house, moping around. I'd be having a good day. Someone would say something about football. I would go dark, but my faith helped me get through it. My wife helped me get through it. Kevin.
What'd your wife say? You better get your ass out there and find another job. You're sitting there moping around. What's wrong with you?
Exactly. She said, I'm tired of you sitting around here, sitting around this house depressed. But Kevin Winston from the Atlanta Falcons, he helped me with some opportunities, some business opportunities. I met some great people. So, ultimately I just put my energy towards something else, learning something new.
Right.
I opened up a medical practice here in New York.
Oh.
And now I've been broadcasting and still being a part of the game. It's been a great transition for me.
Tell us about the medical practice. Medical marijuana?
No, it's not
actually,
legal.
I do have some friends back in Washington State that do that. But
cool.
we focus on hormone replacement therapy. Yeah, getting testosterone levels right in men, balancing hormones in women, erectile dysfunction, medical weight loss.
I need your phone number, dog. I'm dealing with all that.
Really? You've
The
got
hormones.
You've got erection?
We can get the HGH from him.
You've got erectile dysfunction?
No,
I don't.
No, I'm talking to Brian. He said you needed help with all of that.
Well, I misspoke.
Okay.
The hormones, though, the testosterone.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that all males go through,
right,
around their 40s. So, it's great to be able to help people.
You are
Oh, yeah, I need to get your number, dog. We need to talk.
Yeah,
I'll let me.
Give you some business.
Look at that. Long Island is not that far away.
It's
Brian.
far from me.
I bet you he's in Nassau County somewhere.
Yep, I'm in Nassau County, in Woodbury.
How far is that?
Yeah, it's not that far.
How long a drive from here?
From here, you can get there in like 35 minutes, 40 minutes maybe.
Maybe me and the Pooch would take a ride
Yeah,
over and see Erik.
why not?
Yeah.
We're talking to Erik Coleman, who can help you out if you have erectile dysfunction. He also played in the NFL for 9 years. On a serious note, how is your body doing? How are you holding up? We've learned so much about players and post-playing issues. What about your own?
Well, it's tough. After I was done, I got evaluated for one of my benefits, and I have torn labrums in both shoulders. My back is kind of messed up, arthritis in ankles and my knees. But I found if I keep myself in shape, if I continue to work out, then I feel pretty good. I ride the bike. I do low impact stuff. I'm not able to go out and run and play basketball or anything like that. But as long as I keep myself fit, then I feel pretty good.
And, Erik, we asked all of the former players that come on the show about their concerns with CTE. Any concerns about concussions you sustained during your career down the line having some residual effects?
Absolutely. That's probably my biggest fear. I had 3 or 4 concussions when I played. My mental health is the most important. I can go with the knee replacement. I can still function in life. I can go play with my kids and have a relationship with my wife. But, when your brain goes, it's scary. And after watching the movie Concussion, it makes it even worse. Mm-hmm. I have some friends who are affected by, the brain trauma. Steve Gleason is he's from my hometown. So, it's a very scary thing. And, I just continue to pray and try to do whatever I can to keep my mental health sharp.
Gio and Jones with former NFL safety Erik Coleman, now an NFL analyst, and working with he's got a medical practice going on. Mm-hmm. So some post-playing career success stories for sure with Erik Coleman. I didn't go through every one of your games to find out how many times you played Peyton Manning in your career. Do you know off the top of your head, roughly?
I probably played him about 3 times.
Yeah. And
when I was in New York and when I was in Atlanta.
And what is that experience like? Now, he's a different player now. He's not in his prime any longer, but what was that like going up against him?
It was tough. We had to, all week in practice, you always try to disguise your coverage to quarterbacks, especially intelligent quarterbacks like Peyton Manning. If you tip off your coverage to Peyton Manning, he'll come up with an audible for a play that can beat that coverage because there is a play to beat every coverage. So in the secondary, we would try to hold our shell, try to pay attention to the play clock. Once the play clock got down to 6, then we would probably go into our formations, and it's too late for him to change the play. So it was a chess match with Peyton. He was always a step ahead. Did a great job of preparation, and he always had a way of finding that snitch in the defense, we call it, that guy who's going to give away what you're doing. So, it was always tough playing against Peyton.
That snitch, you got to sugar that coverage, man. Sugar those blitzes and all that stuff. Now, was Vic with the Falcons when you were there?
No, you know what? I got there the year after Vic left. So I was there for Matt Ryan's first year, and Mike Smith and Thomas Dimitroff's their first year of that regime. I was there for that.
The reason I asked that because I wanted to pick your brain on how do you attack a quarterback like a Cam Newton, and other than Michael Vick, I don't know anyone that was running around like this guy can. That's not to take away from his passing prowess because he's damn good in the pocket as well. Has anyone come to mind?
Well, yeah. Well, when you're playing someone like Mike Vick, or even playing Aaron Rodgers, it's tough. You can't play the 2-man coverage. You can't play you can't blitz too much because when you blitz and you play 2-man coverage, everyone's back is to the quarterback, and if he takes off, then he's going to be running for a long time. So, you have to mix up your coverages, play a lot of zone coverage, try to keep everyone in front of you, and keep eyes on the quarterback at all times. Also, in the pass rush, the defensive ends, you can't just run around the horn. You can't just run behind the quarterback. You have to stay in your rush lanes to try to keep him in the pocket because, Cam Newton, like a lot of mobile quarterbacks, you make them average when you keep them in the pocket and limit them what they can do. Where they hurt you is getting out of the pocket, extending the play, and, running for first down. So if you can keep them in their pocket, keep them in the pocket and limit to what they do, then you'll have more success.
I have yet to hear anybody confidently pick the Denver Broncos in this game. What are your feelings right now, a few days away?
Well, when the matchups first came out, I initially was like, oh, yeah, Carolina. I mean, you look at the last couple of games they've played, they've blown teams out. and they play with so much confidence. But, when you look at Denver, you think about Denver, they have another week to prepare, and that defense is lights out. What they did to Tom Brady and company, it was amazing, and give them another week to prepare for Cam Newton and that offense. I think that they have a chance. I'm still going to pick Carolina, but if T.J. Ward and Darius Butler are healthy, T.J. Ward and the other safety, Darius Stewart, are healthy, then they have a chance. If they can shut down Greg Olsen, limit that run game, and make Carolina one-dimensional, then they have a shot.
All right, let me ask you about, speaking of running games, Eddie Lacy. Green Bay wants him to lose 30 pounds. Did you ever play with a fat, out-of-shape running back?
Yes, I did. I played with what's his name, in Atlanta.
Jamal Anderson?
No, not Jamal Anderson. His name is
Turner. Michael Turner.
Michael Turner.
Oh, Michael Turner.
I can't remember my teammate's name.
Hey.
I'm playing with Mike Turner, and he, it was funny because when I first signed to Atlanta, we would be going through off-season practices. I'm like, man, this little fat dude, like, what is he going to do in the game? Does he have a second gear? And man, that first game, he was breaking tackles, he was running through safeties, doing long runs. It was amazing to see him go out there and transition from being that bad body type running back to going out in the field and breaking tackles. So I have played with the bad body running back.
How does that happen? I don't understand, especially if you're a running back. I can understand if you're an offensive lineman, defensive lineman. I mean, Brian's talked about being a linebacker and adding some weight in the offseason, but when you have to be quick. How do you? I mean, if you're a teammate, you see this guy who's packing on the pounds. He's a running back. Don't you lose a little respect for that guy?
Yeah, I mean, I would lose a little respect. With Eddie Lacy, I mean, I was looking at the pictures the other day from when he came out of the draft into where he is now, and it's amazing.
Yep.
It's like you have to kind of try to gain that much weight. So, I don't understand how he let himself get that out of shape. I hope he can lose some weight and get back to the player that was drafted out of Alabama, because he can be a big asset to that offense. And along with Aaron Rodgers, that would be a great duo. Running the football, setting up play actions, and Green Bay would be back in the Super Bowl if he was able to get back on point.
Coming out of Alabama, coming out of Alabama, 220. That's what they had him listed as, 220.
Mm-hmm.
And they said last year he weighed in at 234. That's a lie. He's about 254.
Yeah, that's a big difference. I looked on Wikipedia the other day, and somebody had listed his weight as 739 pounds.
That is just mean. Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was a low blow right there.
That's me.
Hey, Eric, thanks for the time, man. Really enjoyed it, and enjoy the game. Hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to you down the road.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
I'm going to give you a call, man. When I come back from the Super Bowl, I'm calling you.
Please, and I'll be at the Super Bowl, too, so hopefully we can link up.
Really?
Oh, cool. Well, bring me some of that HGH, dog.
Are you delivering any of that to Peyton Manning?
No, we don't do HGH. We don't deal with the HGH.
Oh, damn.
Well, you better start. It's going to be the
All
next
right, well,
big
call
thing.
some of your boys up there in Washington State and have them hook me up.
You're going to get this guy in trouble. He's trying to run a legitimate business. All right, Eric, thanks, man.
Thank you.